This is a recent, case study or like results of account management. And as you can see, like we are, growing sales week over week and lowering TACOS week over week. And what's going on, everybody? My name is Paul. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we're basically synthesizing the, best data sources on Amazon. So the search group performance report, the search impression share report, and, the Cerebro export from Helium 10. And ultimately, I am going to show you how I use this data and business intelligence to, at the end of the day, lower, TACOS and increase total sales, because at the end of the day, every activity should be, in direct alignment with that goal or like that North Star KPI. And yeah, at the end of the day, why am I qualified to talk about this? This is a recent, case study or like results of account management. And as you can see, like we are, growing sales week over week and lowering TACOS week over week. And more importantly, year over year, we have outperformed every calendar week this year so far, which, sure, like I could like proliferate myself, and I believe I'm one of the best, if not the best, PPC and SEO manager on the market, because like, my track record is basically proving that. But I like to stay humble, because at the end of the day, the product of the client is really, world class. So yeah, like, I'll show you another one. Here's another example of an account under management where we have successfully, grew sales week over week. To be honest, only 5.18%, but we have lower TACOS as well. And more importantly, of course, year over year, the improvement is quite significant. So one more. So here's another account where we have successfully increased sales week over week and lower TACOS week over week. But more importantly, again, I sound like a broken record. We have improved total sales and TACOS compared to last year. And I guess one more. So here's another account where we have, successfully increased total sales week over week and lower TACOS quite significantly. To be honest, the total sales are trading behind compared to last year, but the TACOS improvement is quite significant. So yeah, net profit improved. But that's basically, the credibility and the track record that basically validates why you should listen to me in talking about tactical stuff when it comes to lowering TACOS and increasing total sales. I'm in the trenches every day, all day. All I do is lower TACOS and increase sales. So yeah. Again, I believe I'm one of the, if not the best PPC manager on the market, but because I know I'm not, right? Because I'm learning from the best, and I'm constantly staying humble, improving myself, and I can highly recommend that you do the same. So the purpose of this video, again, let me make myself a little bit smaller, is to combine, a lot of data sources into one, unified central sheet. And this is basically the export from the from Cerebro. So this is basically the search volume month over month for the last 3 months, the organic rank month over month for the last 3 months, the average that is, of course, and then we have the sponsored rank, and we have the search group performance report, search volume as well, and then we have like the performance data for total impressions. Here's search group performance, total impressions, impression share, impressions, click rate, clicks, all of the performance metrics that are obviously highly relevant for conducting efficient, business intelligence, analysis, and then also implementing, reasonable, logical contingencies to improve your account. So let me just remove the filter. So first of all, of course, depending on the product, obviously I've blurred out the keyword list on the side to be confidential with the client. But obviously Cerebro is going to give you, all keywords that this ASIN is indexing for. So obviously not all of these keywords will be relevant. So you have to vet the keyword list for relevance. I write this is common sense, obvious, but common sense is not common practice. I do not just take the keyword list and like throw it into a campaign. But the framework that we are utilizing is we basically draw so let me go here. We basically draw the top 10 competitors of our product. And, this is obviously directly correlated to the attributes of your product. So for example, if you're selling tea, right, green tea in bags, for example, then that's obviously the exact relevant keyword. And then you would go ahead on to Amazon. So then I can highly recommend the Chrome extension from Helium 10. So again, we're selling green tea, right, in bags. So as you can see here, I would go for, obviously, like green tea is the keyword with bigger demand or like more interest, right? Because search volume at the end of the day is not just demand, it's more like interest. So, and like attention, of course. But obviously, green tea bags is like a low search volume keyword, but that at the end of the day is the more relevant, exact relevant root of the product, hypothetical product that we're selling. So obviously, like loose leaf would not be relevant. So obviously, then we would go ahead, we would drill down into like the sub niche, and we would pull. Our intention would be to pull the top 10 revenue drivers in the sub niche, because at the end of the day, on Amazon, every keyword or like every search term on the search index is basically like its own sub niche. So then you obviously want to vet for price, right? Like if the price discrepancy is too high, then I, would recommend that you obviously tighten the parameters for the keywords that you're pulling. Then you pull the keywords in Cerebro, and you get this output here. So this is basically then just showing you, okay, let's just assume in column K, that's our keyword. Then we just are looking at keywords where like the majority of our competitors are ranking in the top 10 organically, because obviously that's where we want to or like need to rank as well, right? And I always select, minimum what search volume, organic placements only, and minimum ranking competitors 3. So that's parameters I use for Cerebro. You export it, put it in here, and then it's basically like battleships. You basically see where you have to strike in order for you to acquire more market share, right? But you have seen this before, probably if you follow me for a while. Like this is nothing new. So the next evolution, logical evolution of this tool, basically something like this, right? Because the previous sheet is just a snapshot of the current state of, the situation. So this is basically like the next steps, which is, what I was referring to in the introduction. So we're basically pulling the data from Cerebro, right? We have the Cerebro search volume here. Then we have the search performance search volume here, and I can highly recommend Seller Central Utilities to streamline the reporting. Then we obviously pull the organic rank from Helium 10, and we pull the sponsored rank from Helium 10, and then we pull the total impressions from the search term impression share report, the total impressions from the search performance report, impression share, impressions, clicks, click-through rate, all of the performance metrics. Now, obviously, Cerebro is going to give you all of the the keywords that the ASIN is indexing for. So obviously, not all of the keywords will be relevant. So of course that you have to vet the keyword list for relevancy. So I like to use just a filter, and then just filter for the most relevant route. So for example, staying with our analogy, if we're selling green tea, then I wouldn't filter for green tea, or I would probably either filter for green tea or green tea bags, and then just this is a different example, but so then next, we like one of the biggest mistakes I see agencies make is that they're testing keywords without ever having like vetted the keyword list for relevance, right? If you're not sure if one of the keywords is relevant, then go ahead and type it into the search bar, run the exercise, and ask yourself, if I'm the customer and I'm searching for that term, how likely am I to purchase my product, right? If you're looking at the search engine result page and the results are not relevant, even though you're assuming that the term is relevant, then let the market guide you. For example, a good example is in the past I was selling storage boxes for for outdoor kitchen, for the outdoor kitchen niche. So basically like wooden storage boxes for your garden, right? And one of the keywords that Cerebro outputted was storage box, and I assumed it was relevant, right? Because I never assume anything, always verify, verify, verify. And I typed it into the search bar, right? I advertised on it. It was not performing well. I'm like scratching my head, like what's going on, right? Like until I typed in the keyword into the search bar, and then I saw, it's only like plastic storage boxes for kitchen, like for the kitchen niche, right? So that's what I mean. Like, always, if you're not sure, don't assume that it's relevant. Always vet it. That's one of the best PPC activities that you can do, because at the end of the day, we can think of the box. Like PPC and SEO are interconnected. This is technically keyword research, SEO, whatever, but both go hand in hand, and both have to like basically synergize to have the maximum benefits. Long story short, okay, before we even dive into it, how we would like use this sheet, it's interesting to see that, for example, this is the search volume according to Helium 10, right? And I'm relying a lot on Helium 10 for my market research and stuff like that. But as you can see, this is basically, I'm always saying take it with a grain of salt. So this is fascinating to see, right? For the same search term, this is the search volume according to Helium 10, and this is the search volume according to the search performance report, right? So here it's like 4.9, 4.9, and in the search performance report is 10.2K, 8K, right? So yeah, that was definitely a wake-up call for me, because I am heavily relying on Helium 10. And even I always said, take it with a grain of salt, take it with a grain of salt. But that's crazy. That's like almost double the search volume. And a lot of people say, don't use keywords with under 300 search volume. But here, for example, are like keywords with low search volume, like, sub 300 or close to sub 300, but in the search query performance report, they're like 800, 1K, right? So, it might be negligent that you're not targeting these targets, right? So long story short, that's just like interesting to observe. And also, like when it comes to data consistency, we can basically reverse engineer the total impressions, right? The total impressions are basically just, we just take our impression count and basically, run the mathematical operation, basically like percentages. And, we know our percentage. So that should give us the total value of impressions in the market. But when comparing that to the search core performance report, you can see like there's still like a huge discrepancy. So I don't know, man, like it is what it is, like the search performance report is not perfect. It's a good indicator, but some people are solely relying just on the search performance report. So for example, I read a LinkedIn post from, one of the executives from Simple Modern, and they said they're not paying anything for reporting because they're just using the SQPR, but like, it might be, potentially, not complete, and you might, like long story short, you might have blind spots, right? So next, diving into like moving away from the data discrepancy situation, how would we apply the data to scale sales and to lower TACOS, right? So long story short, we would look at number one, I want to see everything where we have lost, okay, where we basically have lost organic rank, right? And I want to go with the like highest search volume targets and like use the root, right? So we filter for the best, highest value targets, and then like not all of these are relevant, though some of those here are brand terms, right? So you want to it's up to you, right? I like to use like, okay, if it's like an exact relevant keyword, I mark it green. If it's like a competitor, I mark it like red. And if it's a for example, if it's your brand term, then you can mark it like yellow or whatever. Okay. So next, we then want to look at, okay, for example, then I would go ahead and filter for green. Everything that is green, that is exact relevant, where we have lost search volume, we want to identify why, right? That's not good at the end of the day. So then I would look at, okay, what's our sponsored rank? For example, in this scenario, let's just take this row here as an example, right? We have seen, okay, our organic rank has like declined or like has gotten worse, and our sponsored rank, we don't even have any sponsored rank for that keyword, right? So then I would look, okay, we're not even targeting it here. We don't have any impression share data. We have no impressions, probably have no spend on it. So that's one of the targets that I would prioritize in the campaign expansion process. And then I would go ahead and basically, because like saying some people then always bring up the objection, yeah, but like, I don't just want to earn $3 more for one keyword, sure, but like do this across 100, 200 search terms across 20, 30 products, right? Which hurts, but at the end of the day, no pain, no gain, right? It just is what it is. Like, you will not grow without pain, right? So like, if you're not willing to eat pain, you're not going to grow. That's not my opinion. That's just a law of nature, right? You have to, it's just also Newton's third law. In order to get somewhere, you have to leave something behind. In order to gain something, you have to, pick your sacrifice. So next, I would then go ahead and basically, for example, filter for green. So everything that is not a brand term, that is highly relevant, and then focus on all the ones where we have, no spend. So that's the first filter I would apply. So go to spend equals, or like, clear, select everything with 1, and then put all of these into campaigns because we don't have any data to make a decision. Next, I would go ahead and select the filter of like orders, or like just sales greater than 1, greater than 0, sorry. And I would look at, okay, how is our performance, for example, here, this is really broad, this is a competitor, let's use this one here, right? This is highly relevant. And this here, for example, is highly relevant too. So you can see that, for example, here, it's also interesting to see that for your, like if you're working with, service providers or tools, because as you can see, we have lowered spend month over month, and you can run the same analysis or observation on a weekly basis. At the end of the day, the month is just the aggregate of all the weeks, right? So it's just, at a high level. But you can see that we reduced the average CPC by 9 cents, right? This is also not just, this could also be correlated obviously to up and down only, or if you have like top of search multipliers. But in general, if you're using SKC exact match campaigns, then you can correlate the change in CPC to the change in ACOS, right? So in this example here, we have spent less month over month, and the ACOS improved from 55 to 24%. So that's what we want to see, right? We lowered the CPC from 57 to 46, and we generated more sales, right? So I can already tell you, it's like because we increased the conversion rate here, right? We increased conversion rate, so that's good. But it's not always. So that's the second filter I would use. The third filter I would use is basically looking at everything, again, that is green, where we're not ranking at all organically, right? That's according to Stephen Pope. Credit where credit is due. Again, like that's what just my value system. So why is it not showing though? I don't even know. But long story short, you would just want to find something that is relevant that you're not ranking for organically. That's another missed opportunity where you're potentially leaving sales on the table. Okay, and but if you're already ranking sponsored number 1, there's only so much you can do, right? You can push more spend through it. So for example, if you see, okay, this is all close to like 2K. Okay, last month 1K search volume. Our organic rank has decreased significantly, right? Like absolute delta of 179, but our sponsor rank has not changed. And let's look at the performance data. So we had we like almost like cut the impressions in half, and like clicks in half as well. We have not converted, right? So like seeing 13 clicks, 7 clicks per month might not be enough data to make a decision. But even after 20 clicks, I would expect a conversion soon. So I know it's relevant though, so I would just put it into a single keyword campaign where we're just pushing more spend, because at the end of the day, $10 of spend in close to 2 months is nothing at the end of the day, right? So here I would like to see an increase of CPC so we get more impressions at the end of the day. And yeah, I could go on and on. I think I'll make a second video. I don't want to make this video too long. This is basically the video for today. Feel free to like, share, comment, give me any suggestions down below, and see you in the next video. Deuces.